Hello, hello. Welcome back to Make and Break. I may or may not have stayed up until 4 a.m. and woken up an hour ago and decided to take a shower, make lunch, clean, and do a bunch of stuff in an hour. So I may or may not be mega manic today. If that's the case, you didn't hear it from me. But that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and post today's theme in the voting channel because I didn't prepare anything today. But we'll get going for it. Just another manic Monday, honestly. That's how I'm feeling. Okay, cool. So we're here. I'm going to pop on the music and I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm doing right now. Let's go. So that should be roughly the correct volume, although it sounds a little loud in my headset. But you'll let me know if it's too bad or not. Okay. So I am back into our blacksmithing scene. And boy, every time I take a couple of days off of Blender, I feel like I'm starting from scratch. So let's just do this thing. So I think I want to go ahead and start by doing just some cleanup. I thought about this scene for a lot. I really thought about these bellows. I love these bellows. I want to do something with the bellows. I have a strong opinion of what I'm going to do with these bellows eventually. But yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and just clean up this file a little bit, and we'll get going to it. So, first things first, let's start with the hammer. I'm also going to do some materialing today. Materialing, I think, is going to be very crucial to what we're up to. So, here's what I want. I want to grab you. I want to go ahead and dissolve that edge. And we're going to take you, and we're going to scooch you on forward. Like that. We're going to go back to object mode. We're going to apply scale. We're going to go back down to here. And I'm going to go ahead and bevel this bad boy. And if I've done this right, it should look a little bit more prominent. Yeah, it looks a little better. I also think it might be in our best interest if I also bevel a lot of this. So I'm going to bevel all this real quick. So, how's everybody doing? StreamCord still hasn't done a thing, so I'm going to just tell everybody that I'm live right now. There we go. All right, I have made a little post. It's not as cool as my normal post, but sure. And we're going. How are you guys doing today? Junie, how you been? Junie, do you want me to share your life with people? Do you want me to tell everyone what's going on? Or is that private information? Because Junie has something kind of cool going on right now. And I think the people would like to know. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab this, and we're going to scooch this on down. Just like that, and that should be pretty decent for us, I think. Okay, so let's go back to here. We'll hit scale, we'll come back, we'll bevel just the end of this. And honestly, if I could just get it to where they like meet at that edge, that would be perfect. Just go until they meet. That's going to be good enough for me, honestly. And actually, I don't want to do that first. I want to do this and get that scaling out first. And now I can do that exact same thing that I was doing. There we go. And now we're going to do a little bit of this. And say that that is an okay looking hammer. You know what? It's not an okay looking hammer. I actually kind of hate it. Kind of don't like it. Kind of don't like it. I think what I might do... Here we go. Here's what a hammer looks like. We pop that around the edge. Oh, what a song. Shout out to Dark Cloud 2. If ever I get myself a capture card, we are playing Dark Cloud 2 on stream. Like, I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't really understand the logistics of anything like that, but I'm going to play Dark Cloud 2 on stream one day. Actually, what I could do is take this, divide that across, grab you and divide you across, and then we'll grab you and we'll pop you back. And I'll say that that probably looks all right to me. And now we can bevel all of it. This is terrible. What am I doing? You know what? That's it. We're just sticking with this. We're sticking with the basic design. And I'm going to get into some noting just as soon as I double check that everything else looks all right. And we'll go for it. So, what are we out here looking for? Everything looks good. That looks bad, but we're not going to think about that. We're going to throw some water in here, and then we're good to node. So, let's go ahead and pop on a face, fill it, and we're going to do a GG and bring it on up. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. A GG, bring you on up. Fill. There we go. Perfect. Let's do some noding. So I'm going to want to be in object mode. We're going to double check that our HDRI is set up correctly, which I don't think it is. Yeah, I messed it up. Last time I was modeling, I had everything set up one way, and over the weekend I moved some files around. I actually dropped like 300 gigs off my computer, but as a result, I moved a little too much. So, let's get into this. We're going to want to model just a few of these things to start with. I'm going to start with the floor. So, what do I want the floor to look like? I want the floor to look like maybe mahogany? You don't make floors out of mahogany. That'd be way too wealthy. Maybe you'd make it out of oak. When I think a blacksmith shop, I very clearly think of this. I very clearly think that you would put, like, slats of wood down. So, I'm going to throw down a few slats of wood. That's going to be the way that we're going to want to do this. So, let's grab ourselves a brick texture, which I think is not named super well, personally. I kind of think they flubbed it on naming it the brick texture. Okay, so we're going to pop this brick texture on over to our vector. Making sure everything looks all right. And now let's make sure that we get it correct. What? Oh, I see. We have weird settings that I don't want. So actually, I'm going to take object settings straight to my vector. There we go. And now we're going to take our mortar size and make it real small. Like that. We're going to make our width way bigger. Probably even bigger than that. Let's say 2. I wish it wasn't so predictable. Maybe we'll do like a 2.1 and try to get it looking real weird. No, it doesn't do anything. Why is that? Why is it looking so weird, huh? Okay, tell you what. I'm going to grab you. Let's pop in a color node. We're going to do like a hue saturation, and I'm going to add another bad boy right here who is darker and maybe a little bit more saturated. That looks a lot better, actually. That looks like the stuff right there. Oh, oh, there she is. Cool. Okay, now that I'm looking at it, I'm really thinking UVs are going to be the way to go. Because then we get these like sides. No, we're not getting sides. What do we want? How do we want to do this? Generated is default. Object gets us sides. You know what? I think I don't care too much. Am I even going to see the bottom of this floor? I'm pretty sure this floor is going to sit flush. Like, I don't think we're doing all of this. So, you know what? This is a flat floor texture. I'm not doing all this. So we're just going to keep it like that. And we're going to say scale, make it nice and big. So it looks like we got some detail work here. We got ourselves the whistle song to start off nice and early. That looks good, actually. That looks really good, actually. All right, so let's go ahead and fill this guy. So what we're going to want to do is grab ourselves a little bit of edit. We're going to grab this. Is that the whole floor? It is. Perfect. Okay, so I can go slot 2, pop down a new texture, and I just realized I should have pre-made myself a sand texture. But nothing I can't solve pretty quickly. So we're going to go ahead and just find the color of sand, which that looks about right to me. I'm also... Okay, I've been playing with this idea for a little bit now. What if I just switch to Eevee? Well, it feels like it just crashed Blender. Are we good? What if we just used Eevee right now? How bad would that be? It actually looks good. I hate all the, like, pixely stuff. I know Simo's been telling me to use Eevee forever, and I just don't listen. But I'm kind of thinking we might be on Eevee now. This blacksmith layout looks a little familiar. What are you talking about, Junie? I don't know what you could be talking about. It definitely doesn't look exactly like our Minecraft world, where I also was the one in charge of making a blacksmithery. So I don't know what the hassle here is. You know, sometimes you get locked in your head a certain kind of something, and that's the something you are. Sometimes you're just the somethings that you do most often, right? Wisdom for the ages? Okay, so what I'm going to want to do is try and make this texture as sandy as possible. What is going to do that? Noise seems like an obvious solution, but white noise has my card. I don't like Eevee updating. That's like kind of annoying. But it is what it is. Okay, so white noise is actually working, but it's pretty hard to see. It's almost like a really weird, it's almost like a really weird looking subsurface scattering. Bubbles butternuts. I have not heard that in years. Is that what it is? What are we talking about? Hey, Bubbles, what do you mean by that? Subsurface scattering or white noise? It is what it is. Okay. I like the funk. I like whatever you've brought. I don't understand it, but I like what you brought. Sure. Whatever you're talking about. I'm totally following. I get 100% what you're saying to me right now. Hey, Bubbles. Bubbles, you're a 3D modeler? What do we got going on? Okay, let's see what we're looking at here. If I have a bump on here, I think I don't like Eevee. Eevee is just like pre-render. I'm going to stick with it for a little bit just to play, but I think we're going back to cycles soon enough. Yeah, but self-taught and funding my own projects, so rest in peace. Hey, same here. More power to you, honestly. That's awesome, though. How long you been 3D modeling for? That is pretty swell looking. That's good looking sand, actually. The little bit of subsurface is great. It looks good. I'm going to go ahead and maybe add as much on this distance as I can handle. Yeah, that's pretty sweet looking. About a year or so on and off. Very good. I've been going for about 8 months, and I've been going almost every single day. But that doesn't mean I'm good, because I'm not. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw on some sort of metal texture here for the bucket. How rusty do we want this thing? Welcome to the rusty bucket. Whoa, that's really rusty. Now, that's really rusty, but a blacksmithery kind of works. You know, it's a little too gross for me. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think it's a little too gross for me. So I'm going to double that down. And we're going to say Q less rusty. We're going to say just a little bit less rusty. And I'm going to pop us in a little bit more of the silvers. So let's pop you down to nothing. Nope, we want the other one. This one up here. Hey, Butter Bubble Nut, whatever, however you want me to say your name. I need to keep an eye on Nanite, though. I heard it was coming to Unity. Okay, so we're a Unity dev. Good to know. What's your current project? What are your projects looking like right now? There we go. That's maybe a little bit better looking. And I think I might want early stages. What is it? A game? CG something? What are you working on? If you don't mind sharing. You don't have to share if you don't want to, but we'd all like to hear. A game? That is what we are working on right here. I have just slowly but surely been making game assets and working to get better while I'm making the game assets. So more power to you. CQDK, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get ourselves a nice stretch. Everybody, please take a little stretch. It'll be nice and good for you. Oh, man. Sometimes you wake up at 1 in the afternoon because you're a degenerate and you forget to stretch, and somebody online tells you to stretch, and boy, does it feel good. Are you going to be using Nanite, or are you going to load the objects yourself? I'm using Unreal, and I'm doing almost everything by hand, but I wouldn't be against using some extra stuff on top of that. But for the time being, I'm just practicing my ability. I just want to be as good as I can be. What do we have? Q gold. Let's put on some gold of this guy. Unreal has nanite as well. Maybe I don't understand what nanite is then. What is nanite? Can you give us the real quick explanation of what that is? CQDK has asked that everybody take a drink. Let's take a little drink. I don't know how I would survive without you guys. What's up, Rendering Hero? How are you doing? Now, I would normally ask people, do you 3D model? But I think I know the answer to that one for you. I think that one seems a little clear to me. Doing fine? Good. Good, good, good. Good to hear. Okay, what we need to do is we need to apply scale on this guy to get a little bit of those streaks. And I use Blender, yes. That's awesome. Hey, Bubbles, Butternuts, and Rendering Hero, both of you. Do you have a portfolio or some pieces somewhere that we can show off? Because I like to show people's pieces off on stream. It's really nice to just kind of see what people are up to, and if you want to show off a little bit, we got some peeps who are interested in that stuff. So I'd love to show it off for you. Okay, let's go ahead and sign that. Hey, we have a flumph in chat. Hey, Rendering Hero, let's get the name of that Instagram if you want, and I'll play it. It does all the hard calculations in the background for you, and it looks like auto does the LOD for you. That might be a little over my head for what I am specifically doing right now. It's the same as here? Okay, sure. We'll go check that out. Appreciate you. Let me go ahead and put on a transmissive texture onto here real quick. I want to get out of edit mode. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and just do this real quick, and we'll jump onto your Instagram. The best way I can explain it is that the dev said you'll be able to put movie prop objects in your game. It sounds a little chaotic, if I'm being perfectly honest, but that's okay. Bubbles, do you have a portfolio we can check out? Do you have anything publicly posted that we can take a look at? Because I would love to. Okay, let's go ahead and say that we want to do this based on object. We're going to apply scale. Oh, that worked so well on the outside. Perfect. I'm going to use rings. We're going to use spherical, and then we're going to get our things going. Let me see. I've got something in Discord somewhere. Very appreciated. Thank you. If you want to post it in my Discord, I don't know how you feel about joining people's Discords, but I would love to have you. And we do all sorts of stuff on there, so if you want to share your stuff, we would really appreciate it. And then I can show you off on stream, too. There we go. Just a little bit of water. We're going to set that strength down a whole lot. We're going to get our detail work up. Not quite that much. Maybe just like 3. And then we're going to do our roughness real low down to get it looking like water. That is way too much, actually. Hold on. Scale to 2. Strength to like 0.05. Get it really low looking. Oh, I've been sent a link to Discord. Okay, I'm going to tentatively click this link. I'm going to very tentatively click... Oh, hey, some pipes. I like that. Okay, so this is going to be some work from Bubbles. So we got some pipes from Bubbles. They're a little dark on my other screen, but hopefully you can see them. So that is some pipes that we have from Bubbles over here. And then let's check out Rendering Hero. Rendering Hero Instagram. They're looking nice, aren't they? Hero Rendering. Is it Hero Rendering? Should we expect Hero Rendering, or is this another person? That looks like somebody else. Yeah, I'll just search it. Don't worry. I got you. Rendering _ hero. I got you. Oh, I like how abstract your stuff is. I can't look in close without signing in. I was signed in. I don't know why I got signed out. But, pretty abstract. I like the abstract stuff. Really cool. You got some RAM sticks over here. Some, like, array particle-y sort of stuff going on. This is cool. Big fan, man. Well done. I like it. This is cool. You got it. You got good work. Hey Chaos. Sorry, I missed your jump in. Chaos, how you doing? So Rendering Hero. We know that Bubbles is working on a game. What are you working on? What's your big project right now? Probably want no spec. I'm gonna add a little bit of roughness to the transmission just so it doesn't look so crazy. You're okay? What does okay mean? Is that okay, or is there more to the story? And you don't have to share if there's more to the story. Okay, cool. We got a bucket down. So now I should be able to come into here and just fix some of these guys up, right? So we have Q less rusty. Do I want to use the same texture? Melting and PC problems, but I could be worse. Melting. Is it hot where you are? You know what? We're gonna go with the silver. I like a clean hammer. Very warm? Yeah. I'm trying to make a video that I can plug in lyrics, kind of a music video made in Blender. That's the dopest thing I've ever heard. I think music videos are kind of like an unsung thing in this is QOG Oak. I think like music videos and stuff are kind of an unsung hero in the 3D industry. You know, it's like there's a lot of CG, even in the early days, there's a lot of CG for music videos, and people don't really talk about it. CQDK, you dyed your hair again? That's awesome. Here's the thing for Nanite, short 4-minute video on YouTube. Thank you. I will feel free to check that out after stream. If you're making a game on Unity or Unreal, it'd be a good idea to look it up. Yeah, no problem at all. I appreciate that. You sound a little bit like you might work for the Nanite team, which more power to if you do. But hey, I like it. I have a 200 megabyte sample render. I don't know what that means. Like 200 megabytes in volume or 200 megabytes per second? You don't think you can post on Discord? Yeah, if you want to try and convert it down to like a WebP, you can usually get pretty low, but I don't think you're going to get that low. 16 seconds. It'll be close. You might just want to like de-res it down to like 720p or something, and we can take a look at it. But I appreciate you putting in that work for us. Get out of the anvil. So, what do we want to do here? We want to get this guy scaled correctly. This guy being rusty, it lets the 3D modeler worry less about the poly count and just go all out. Well, that's nice. I sort of like the challenge. I think it makes me think a little bit more artistically. I like pushing myself. I like sort of giving it a real go. But having an easy out is not a bad thing, especially after you've worked so hard. So I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. You know what? I want to put these two guys together. Let's grab this Musgrave right here. Copy you. We're going to go back to silver. I'm going to make a new one. We're going to call this Q Bumpy Silver. Bumpy Silver. There we go. I like things that give me better workflow, but I get it. Yeah, no, I get it. For me, it's all about creativity at the end of the day. Like, the ability to say, like, I am capable and I am doing this right now is crucial. Because you see a lot of stuff like that, right? You see a lot of artists who, like, in music is the thing that I relate most to when it comes to this sort of stuff. You see a lot of musicians who, like, they get rich and they find an easier way to do their job, and their music suffers because they're not as close to the grain as they used to be. And I sort of like how close to the grain I am right now. I think I'm feeling pretty good about things. I'm useless with nodes, though. I tried it once and went, nope, not for me. It takes a bit of doing. Nodes are pretty rough. It's the first thing I learned, fortunately. I didn't learn how to do poly editing until much later. We actually have a regular in chat who basically made me get my stuff straight. So I could start poly modeling correctly. So thank you to Simo. Shout out to Simo. Hey, thank you for the follow. Very appreciated. And Rendering Hero, there is no need to worry about getting that video processed quickly or anything. Like, you just do you, whatever works. Why is it only rendering on the bottom? What? Isn't that kind of weird? That is weird. I don't know why it looks so weird. There we go. Now there's a little bit more on top, and I'll just come up from that angle, because I like that angle a little bit more. So we'll do it like this. We'll get that looking real nice and correct, and then let's pop this guy down even more, so it's just a really subtle effect. Hey, thanks, Discord. Or I should say Streamlabs. Streamlabs is the one that made that happen. There we go. We're going to lower our detail a little bit. That is too low. Maybe I don't want to lower our render thing too low. That's okay. We'll do that. So that's our chisel done. Next up, what do we want to do? The anvil I'm saving for last because anvils look nuts. Anvils kind of scare me. I just made a new material. I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. What do we want? We want... Is this going to work? Is this going to work? Oh, perfect. Now, when I'm looking at this, there is a missing piece to it. And I'm just going to go ahead and make a brand new texture. We're doing a lot of that today. We'll call this File. And color me just a little bit worried about this. I think this is going to be kind of a disaster. But somebody had to do it, right? So I'll be the one to do it. I'm going to pop myself on a little bit of a wave texture. Please work. I know you want to work. Please work. Also, major shout-outs to the Fez soundtrack. Anybody who's never played Fez, do yourself a favor. Fez is a wonderful game made by a kind of weird guy. If you get too far into the backstory of how Fez was made, you might weird yourself out a little bit. But the game itself is gorgeous. What a beautifully made game. Okay, so we want Y. Come on. I know you want to process. Why are you looking like that? Why does it look like this? What if I do no vector on here? How am I doing? So I was a big dumb idiot, as per the norm. What else is new? I was a big dumb idiot, and I decided to stay up real late last night. Like, really, really late, and unfortunately late last night. So I went to bed at 4 a.m. like a dummy. And so I woke up at 1 today. And, yeah. In my time zone, I start streaming at 2. So I woke up at 1, and stream starts at 2. And I go, oh no, what am I going to do? So I posted my schedule in Discord. I made lunch. I took a shower. And then I set up for stream. And, yeah, it was 1:54. And I was just like eating my food as quick as I could. And I hit start stream, and I was still eating. And while my BRB, or my stream starting soon screen was going on, I was still eating. Because I am a professional. So, yeah, it's about how my life's going right now. But I got a lot done last night, so I can't be that upset about it. I'm still staying productive. Maybe just a little dumb. Maybe just not the best, maybe not the most healthiest decision I've ever made in my life. Okay, check. Is that an okay looking file? If I take this guy and I pop it on down. Ooh. She looks good. She's looking good. Look at that. It's not perfect. If you put that up to a regular file, it's got some issues. It's not there. But it's pretty close. That's good enough for my purposes for now. I'll get back to it. I might even want to add a tiny amount of distortion. Just like the tiniest amount to get those jagged little pieces in there. Let's do that, and let's set the roughness higher and get the detail up. And the detail scale up just a little bit. And say, how does that look? Because that is gorgeous looking. Yeah, that's the one right there. Cool. So that's going to be the best file that we can do for the time being. Let's put some really nice wood on it. Finally, I can use my good wood. So I'm going to say mahogany sounds like a bet. So let's give that a second to render. Ooh. Ooh. Tell me you do not want to hold this thing right now. Look at that beauty. Oh, she's gorgeous. That's the one right there. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I've used mostly pre-made materials. Thank you. Very appreciated. If I were to fix this, I would love to export. Let's ignore that black wall right there because I'm looking at it and that looks really gross. If I am going to export this, I would probably take the UV and remove... Sir, please. I would remove the UVs here and maybe dull them down in the center a little bit. We can do that in post. Next up, the anvil. And then we're going to get into making some weapons because I've been thinking about weapons for a little bit now. And weapons are the one thing that I feel very qualified for. What is that, a hamster? A love blush? Well, thank you. All right, so what does an anvil look like? If Simo were here, and I'm just going to double check that Simo's not here right now. I don't see any Simo. Okay. If Simo were here, Simo would tell me to use a reference image. I'm not going to use a reference image because I'm bad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in two colors, a mix RGB with this guy. That guy's perfect right there. And then we'll pop some rust on there. Do you know Simo? Bubbles, do you know Simo? That'd be dope if you did. I love Simo. Simo's my man. Also, this makes me think that you're actually Simo now. So maybe you're Simo. That would not surprise me. You talk like Simo. Okay. Nah, there's an old Japanese artist called Simo. Got it. Nope, we're talking about a very sweet Finnish 3D modeler. A very lovely human being. All right. So, is the music a little loud, by the way? Because it's loud to me. Am I competing with it? I feel like I'm yelling over it. No, it's fine? Okay, I'm just going to turn down my headphones. And now I'm yelling a little bit less. Chaos, thank you for the sips. Very appreciated. So, we're going to do the age-old practice of upping the detail and lowering the dimension to get ourselves a little bit of rust. We're going to take that rust and we're going to pop it down onto here. What am I looking for? We're looking for a bump. I think I got it working in Discord. Let's see it. I have to ask, are you using copyright music? Because if you are, the clip is only 240 at 70 frames per second. I might have said that the frames per second mattered less than the P, but whatever floats your boat, man. Sure, if you want to send it, I would love to watch it. Are you in the Discord, or are you sending it from your own Discord? Because if you'd like to post it in our Discord, I would love to take a look. Originally 4K at 70 frames per second? Hey, that's A-okay. You are in Discord. I appreciate that. Thank you for the join. If you post it, let's take a look at it. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to get this guy running. Let's see what we're looking at here. Fingers crossed. Okay, it wants me to download it, which is weird. It should have just auto-embedded itself into Discord, but that's fine. Let me get onto my desktop real quick. It's still very rough. Hey, no judgment. You're good. I'm going to make sure I don't drop any frames while we're doing this. Oh, it kind of has a cool look when it's in 240. Not going to lie. Kind of cool looking. All right, so here is Rendering Heroes music video. Let's do this thing. Some cool camera work. Lots of intensity on these leaves. It kind of looks like you could be doing like a hedge maze. Like we could be going through a hedge maze and like things could be popping out of the hedge maze at us. That'd be a cool little vibe, but I like it. You gonna put little guys in here? You gonna put something like a character, some sort of like anomalous thing in here? Because I think that's the vibe. All right, back to Blender. The final video will be 5 minutes, I think. All right, should we expect it on YouTube, or where should we expect that? I like it a lot. It's very cool. YouTube? Excellent. We'll all keep a lookout. When you post it, if you would like to post it in the Discord, I would love to see it. That Discord is yours to post your stuff in. Not a worry at all. Okay, so that is the beginnings of an anvil. So let's get the colors right. We want to grab ourselves a little bit of rust. Actually, we want this to be black, or maybe even that blue color. Let's grab you. Reinforce that. Actually, a clear coat of black might do the job well. Yeah, very appreciated. Thank you. We'd all love to see it. Everybody here is very eager. Everybody is honestly like super cool about just encouraging people and like seeing stuff. I'm sort of amazed always at how like loving and supportive everybody in the Discord is. Because sometimes I post trash in there. And people are really nice about it. So thank you to everyone. It's all I could have ever hoped for by starting this guy. So I'm a Cup of Tea has asked for a stretch. I can almost guarantee as soon as I start doing this stretch, I'm also going to get a request to drink some water. But that's okay with me. All right. That is it. Oh, what a huge stretch. I don't know if you heard my back crack, but it felt great. So, how do we want to do this? I kind of want to take this and add little specks of black inside of it. Like, check this out. If we have black here on the edge and we take this and get it hyped up like that, that's going to give us a little bit more of a complex look here. And then now we're just going to go invert. Why did invert not work? Huh, the invert's not playing with us super nice, but that'll be okay. We'll set that strength down just a little bit so it's a little bit less present looking. And that is an anvil right there. That's a good looking anvil. We're going to want to go ahead and set the material parts correctly, which I didn't do for any of this stuff because I wasn't thinking correctly. So this guy's metallic. Ooh, what a look. The roughness is going to be based off of you. No, you, because we don't want any absolute whites. Absolute white is going to kill this model for us. Absolute black is also going to kill this model for us, so let's not do that. Let's pop that guy up. Did someone say finish? Hey, there's Simo. Hey, Simo, I know you're not surprised about this at all, but I was talking about you earlier. There's not a stream that goes by where I don't mention you. There we go. We're going to do that. Yeah, honestly, you're just a staple of this stream now, okay? I have completely purposed your being on my stream. That is so good looking. Now, what we want to do is probably make that black a little bit less present. So what I'm going to do is take this, pop this guy over here straight. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Take that guy down. No! Grab you, make you this blue. Grab you, pop you down. And we're going to make a black on the outer edge of this and get this guy real dark. And we're going to scale it down just a little bit and we should be looking golden. Now, black might be just a little bit too much. Let's go up just a little bit, like a gray. Now, I'm not going to say this is the best anvil that's ever been made, but it's pretty good. That's one rusty anvil. It gets used, man. What are you talking about? She's a beaut. All right, you know what would make it maybe a little bit better? You're right. I'm thinking about it. Smaller rust. Yeah, it's super nice and used. Look at this guy. The one thing, now that I'm looking up at this corner right here, this is pretty scary looking. Let's pop that guy down to... Was it already at 0.1? 0.1 might be what we want. And last but not least, we're going to grab this guy. And we're looking great. We're there. We're there. That's an anvil. That's an anvil if I've ever seen one. Cool. Okay, so we got our water. We got our anvil. We got our little chisel spike thing that's not a chisel because we all agreed it's not a chisel. Hammer, file, bellow. I'm going to do the bellow on my own in a little bit. So what are we doing now? We're making a weapon. I want to make at least 3 weapons today. They're going to be a sword, a spear, and another spear. We'll call it Spear 1 and Spear 2. What would people like to see first? You want to see a sword? You want to see Spear 1 or Spear 2? Let's hear it. And while we do that, I'm going to take a look at the Discord and make sure that our voting is going well. Joe. Joe is always trolling. Joe has asked for a metal feather. All right, if nobody decides, I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose in 5 seconds. Oh, Ace is also posting something. I've caught you typing. Oh. Nope, nope. I'm not looking anymore. I'm gone. You can do it in your own time. Okay, so I'm going to choose the spear. We're going to do spear first. So let's get on the internet and we're going to look at spears real quick. Did I break Firefox? What just happened? There we go. We fixed it. So I want to make a spear. Now, I've made a few of these leaf spears before. I want to make something a little bit more like a partisan. So let's actually just look up a partisan. What you using reference? We're doing it right now. There we go. That's what I want. I want a partisan. Some of this stuff, you know, people make a lot of spears. People make like HEMA stuff and they say like, oh, look how cool it looks. These are the most useless, aside from the one on the left, these are the most useless looking spears I've ever seen. Like, you would not get any use out of those other two. Anyway, I'll get off my high horse. So, let's go ahead and make this guy. Have you not seen some weapons from back in the day? No, I mean, I study HEMA pretty regularly. Stuff like this really doesn't exist. It existed as like ceremonial, like kings and stuff put them on their walls, but like nobody went to war with that thing. And I know when you play that game, whatever game it's from, I know when you play it, they're going to be like, oh, it has +10 to piercing damage or something. It's like, come on, do your research. It's your job. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump onto the spear. And what I'm going to want to do now that we have made it this far, we're going to go back to here. We're going to make sure that we close all that down. And we are ready to get going. Where did I put the... Where did I put my empty? Oh, it's in speed. Okay. There we are. But effective weapons look boring. No, they don't. They look great. Women armor in MMOs plus 100 defense when it covers 2% of her body. Honestly. I think, like, classic weapons look good. All right, you know what? I'm going to show you the best weapon of all time, and we can agree whether this looks boring or not. Okay? You tell me if this is a boring weapon. This is the best weapon in the world. For swords, because swords have their own caveats. This is the craziest looking weapon I've ever seen. That weapon looks amazing. If that's boring, look at this. Here we go. Here's a rendered version. It looks cool as can be. That's bad? No way. You guys are just like blown out. You guys have seen so many floating crystals and flaming blades and stuff that you're blown out. I blame the games industry. Alright, let's set our origin to World Origins, cursor to World Origins. We're going to make ourselves a cube, and we're going to get going. So, this is not my first rodeo. I've made a lot of weapons. I play Final Fantasy XIV, so yeah, I think I see a lot of flaming swords. That's fair, I guess. I feel like everybody plays Final Fantasy XIV nowadays. Don't get Junie in chat started on Final 14. Junie loves Final Fantasy 14. Okay, so what we want to do is pop in. Used to play it. Everybody's played it. Played it on and off for years. Bubbles, you're kind of an on and off guy. You do all sorts of stuff on and off. There we go. We're going to just make ourselves this little rim right here. Pop these guys up. We're actually going to take you and bring you up just a little bit. Grab this side, bring you up a little bit. Pop it up just once more. And now we can get into our subdivision and make sure that everything is looking good. 2 should be fine. I don't think I want to go any more than 2. If I do something for too long, it starts to feel like a job and I lose the love for it. MMOs just feel like they need way too much commitment to keep up with stuff. I love that the exact same thing was said twice. So I like to take breaks to keep the spark. Absolutely. I think it's very healthy. I think that's a very healthy practice. No harm in that. Okay, so that is the spear part that's going to sit in. I will take this and make it maybe a little bit bigger to sort of hit better on that staff that we're going to go on. I think I might want to pull you up and crease you. And pull you down and crease you. Get that feeling really strong on there. That is not bad looking. Now, it's not as long, which means I should probably fix that. Let's go. We'll do one of those. We'll pop this guy on down. Make it just a little bit bigger, just to compensate. And say, how does that look? That looks pretty solid to me. When I take breaks from modeling, I go into learning Japanese, then vice versa, so I'm always doing something. That's good. That's what makes you an artist. A cup of tea has recommended that everybody take a drink. I'm going to run out of water here, so thank you guys. I got one more drink before I got to take a BRB, so I guess make it last. Good idea. I need coffee. There you go. Inspiring good habits every day. Do I like that? Do we like this? Do we like this hard edge? No, I don't like it as much. We're going to keep it like that. Okay, perfect. Let's make the actual spearhead. So, a spearhead. What are we looking at when we're looking at a spearhead? A spearhead to me looks like this, and I'm hoping that this is going to work. We're going to extrude all the way up. We're going to divide down right there. We're going to take you, and we're going to do an SX, get you wide. I'm going to want to put on a subdivision, not you. Subdivision like that. Bring you in just on the X. SY? What the heck? Oh, there we go. Didn't work the first time. That was weird. We're going to make sure that that is very careful with how we do this, but everything else should be good. I'm going to wait to merge at the points because I want to make sure that we get the shape of everything correctly. Normally, I'd probably do a mirror, but there's so little to worry about with the mirror right now that I'm not worrying about it. We're going to want to divide this top ways and sideways so that we get a little bit more of a consistent, but I don't like that square. So let's go ahead and grab. You definitely would make it a different object. I've tried using cylinders and stuff like this before, and honestly, I think I do better like this. So I'm going to stick to what I got, but I appreciate the concern. There we go. We got a little bit of a hexagonal thing going on there. Now we're going to stick to low poly for just the first little bit of this to make sure that we get it looking good. We're going to want to subdivide you out. Bring this guy down. This is going to work. This is going to work. This is going to work. Okay, so here we go. Moment of truth. That comes in. We're going to have to do some creasing to fix this, but I think we got it. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. If I do that, that's not bad. And now I grab you two and I pop you guys down. And we look. Okay, so that's going to have to get a nice strong crease to get that angle going there. But everything else looks decent enough for me. I'm going to have to make it wider. It's a little too skinny. Okay, let's do that part first, and then we'll come back. Okay, if you had to do combat with a weapon, what would you choose? So I hate to be this guy. I really hate to be this guy. I genuinely hate to be this guy. But knowing what kind of combat is really important. Because, like, are we talking about, like, D&D, where I'm going to be out in the wilds, like, running around with a weapon? Or are we talking, like, I'm going into war, and I can just pick up my weapon, go fight, and then put my weapon down? Because those are very different contexts, and the answer changes wildly for the two of them. Okay. Here we go. You know what? Actually, I see exactly what we've done wrong. I got to do something. I would say like 1v1 in an arena. Okay? Is there armor or is there no armor? I think that's the only part that I need to have a solid answer. Yeah. You both have similar skill level. Okay, that's scary. That makes it scarier. Having similar skill level is a scary prospect because having knowledge is sort of the one thing that I got going for me in this situation. But I'll play that game. Am I about to ruin my polys? I am about to ruin my polys. Let's fix this, actually. Don't do that. I want to grab you two. Maybe both with and without armor. Okay. So 1v1, if I have no armor, if it's like gladiatory or combat, I want that sword that I showed you earlier. I want a Lang Messer or a Kragen Messer. A Lang Messer is a good one-hander. It'd be good with a shield if shields don't count as armor. The Kragen Messer is two-handed, and so if I can't have a shield, I would have the Kragen Messer, because a two-handed sword is always going to outperform a one-handed sword if there's no other criteria. If it's armored, I want a Bec de Corbin, which is a long, scary pull axe that digs holes in people's armor. It is quite fierce. You do definitely not want to get hit by it. But it wins battles. It was a really important war weapon, but it's heavy. It's a big, giant weapon, so you wouldn't want to carry that around in the field with you. But I would use that if it came down to it. Okay, we are close. We are real close to what we want to be doing here. I'm good. I need to be cleaning. Go clean. What are you doing? If we start merging these guys together. Oh, here we go. Okay. I kind of think we want to dissolve this edge, but I'm not sure what that does for the whole mesh if we dissolve that edge. What does this look like? And again, it refuses to keep our crease when we do this. Okay, so we're missing a little bit of this. Let's come back to here. Go into a mesh. Pop on those guys. Bring these guys a little bit closer together. Like that. Okay, so now I just need to thin the blade out, and then we're done. We're here. And this upper bit needs to have the flute. The flute is really important, and we're not getting that right now. So let me grab all of these guys into a subdivision. We're going to grab you. We're going to flatten you on the Z. Flatten you all the way out. Come on. Flatten you all the way out on the Z. Hey, Saf, how are you doing? Saf, I saw you vaguely start to post in the voting channel, and I called you out, and I thought you got self-conscious. So I'm sorry about that. Okay, so what we're going to want to do... Here we go. I'm good, and I did. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Not to call you out, but I believe this is your debut on the voting channel. And that makes me very happy. I'm very pleased to have you. Because if anybody has not experienced Saf, which I'm sure a lot of people haven't, Saf is an exceptional artist. Saf is a real good artist. And everyone should go check them out if they feel comfortable with that. Okay, so I see a problem right there, but we can fix that problem pretty easily. That angle right there needs some help, but otherwise, feeling pretty good. What is happening? I see a response to something that I don't see in chat, so I'm assuming it was deleted. But we'll just move on from that. I also think it's going to be in our best interest if I crease these guys. We've missed something. I've messed something up. I've 100% messed something up, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. Oh, I see. I see we've messed up. We messed up this guy right here. So I got to put this in. Do we need to put this? I think I actually kind of like it like this. Yeah, this is fine. I can live with this. Okay. Let's go like this all the way across. Put on a crease. Do a little bit of that. And we'll get going down. That is pretty good looking. It has some gross little spikes. We're going to fix those up in just a second. That is not the worst thing I've ever seen. So let's do some finishing touches. Finishing touches, right? We're going to pop into here. We're going to go like this bad boy. Get you big. Get this guy looking mega scary. There we go. And now he's got some weird seams down here. We got to fix those seams, but that's not too bad. That's kind of an easy fix. A little bit of this, a little bit of this. This should do all right. This ridge right here is a little uncomfortable, but I don't have an easy way to cleanly sweep up here. Unless I had a loop cut that went from this side all the way to the top, I think I have a hard time closing this distance right here. So I'm just going to focus on making this guy look a little bit more presentable. And we'll call it there. So I actually think all we want to do is bring these guys down. Bring these guys up. Dare I say, that doesn't look terrible. That little bit on the end is really gross. Why is it looking like that? So what we can do is probably auto normal a little bit. This ridge needs to be worked on, but we'll get there. He needs some love. He needs a little bit of love. But we are looking pretty good, I would argue. So the question is, how are we going to fix this guy up to have a nice ridge? I'm going to say... I mean, dare I say I want to convert these guys? Let's try this real quick. What happens if I do this? Is this going to be the worst thing we've ever seen? It makes a gross little thing here. What's up, Beryl? How are you doing? Grab this. Let's merge by distance and make sure that there's no stacking. There's no stacking. So what is this? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Look at T just being the sweetest person in chat. T, I don't pay you enough. Okay, so that makes a good ridge like that. So if I take it and I add to this ridge, the problem is the ridge doesn't fit everything. So here's where I want to like take it and make it a little bit more of my thing. I am ready to make a cheeseburger for dinner. Go make a cheeseburger for dinner. How's all the health stuff going? You pay me? I may have missed the last couple of payments, so we're just not going to talk about that one. Just, you know, you get paid in exposure. Yeah, that's how you get paid. You get paid in exposure. Okay, bear with me while I do probably the worst thing you've ever seen in your life. But I think it will actually work. I think this is actually not a bad play. That works for me. Okay. That was the easiest, like, refusal of a raise I've ever had to do in my life. That's exactly what I wanted. That's what I wanted earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't do this too well. I am in a good place. Barrel, I love to hear that. Barrel, we all love to hear that. That is awesome. Let's take a look at this first. Oh, we are cruising here, folks. This is it. That's a partisan. She looks good. Okay, you know what's going to make this thing maybe even a little bit better? I do need you to do like a quick ad break where you try to sell me to make sure the exposure is valid. All right, you know what? Everybody, let's take a moment to introduce you to I'm a Cup of Tea. I'm a Cup of Tea is a lovely little mod. Are you even a mod? I don't think you're a mod. I'm a Cup of Tea is a lovely little VIP who probably should be a mod on this channel. I'm a Cup of Tea is a lovely human being who can be found in the tri-state area just hanging out. And they get paid through cookies and the occasional stuffed animal. And that's it. That's all she wrote. I'm looking at the cue cards, and the cue cards are empty, so I think that's all I got. I'm having a glass of wine, so to your health, guys. Oh, Barrel. Barrel, I have known you for not too long in the grand scheme of things, but I feel like we've had a real journey. I feel like we've had a real journey here, and I appreciate you sharing with us. That is not bad looking. Like, is there a gross V right here? Yes, I see it. We all see it. There's a gross V right there. Is there a gross little clipping thing going on down here? Yes, I see it. This is not bad. This is not bad. We can make this work. I gotta tune this guy up just a little bit, but we're looking pretty good. That is gonna be like that. That's gonna be like that. Let's see. What else do we want to be doing here? I think I want to grab all of these edges. And we're going to grab everything up top as well. So let's do this. All of this, shrink it down just a little bit. Get those proportions real small and hope that I didn't ruin the way it looks too much. That's pretty good. That is pretty good looking. Okay, I'm going to call it. We're calling it right there. And I'm not going to do the binding the way they normally do the binding. I can do that later, but I'm not doing it now. It's just a little too much. One last detail I want to do is definitely take this and extend it down for a bit. And say that that is our guy done. So let's pop ourselves on a cylinder. Get him nice and small. Should I have taken my cylinder and made it less chunky? Yes, I should have. But I didn't, because I am bad. So we'll pop this guy on up. And now you're asking yourself, how big should a partisan be? Partisans are not used as much in war combat as they are in like hunting and like one-on-one combat scenarios. So I'm going to say longer is probably not in our best interest. You probably want like a short spear. So I'm going to say that's probably exactly what we want right there. If you were going for full-on combat, you'd be using a pike. You would not be using a partisan. So we're not going to do the partisan for like war combat. We're doing this for just a little duel. There we go. The deed is done. The deed is done. That's as much as I'm going to do right now. I know we need to fix it up. You know, I can do more to fix it up, but we'll get back to this eventually. So cool. Let's pop this guy onto our nodes and get him looking good. So dare I say we want this guy to be silver, not rusted. Silver. Apply scale. I think we want no rust whatsoever. I think we're going to want this to be like a clean silver. Pikes. What are pikes made out of? Sometimes they're made out of brass. We're going to make a brass. It would be weird for a blacksmith to be making brass. It'd be weird for a blacksmith to be making brass, I think. I think that would be weird. But I kind of want to do brass. All things considered. Oh, man, she looks good. She looks good. Wow. Look at this beauty. Let's go ahead and just throw on the oak staff real quick. What is this? OG oak? Yep, there's our OG oak. Oak is a good wood for building some little staves out of. Do we want to do anything to this guy? Do we want to do anything to him? I think he looks so good. No, there's no clear coat. Why would there be clear coat? You're not waxing a piece of metal like this. All right, let's do brass. You know what? I'm doing brass. I don't care. There we go. There's our brass boy. Brass might also have... Ooh, I got it. I know how we're going to make this even better. You know what? I'm going to rename this to Brass Partisan. And we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of coolness going on it. So let me add a color ramp. We're going to go to our roughness. We want our roughness to end at 1.5. So you're going to end at 1.5. 1.5 right there, and you're going to end, or you're going to top out at maybe like 0.6. Oh, sorry, 0.15. There we go. You can be like that, and that can stay just like that. Pop you up on the roughness there. It's going to be really rough to begin with. I'm going to put on... You know what? Actually, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be this. We're going to do 0.5 here. We're going to put another guy here. You are this color. Now, what we can do is throw on a gradient. And it should automatically work. Blacksmiths were well skilled in handling all common kinds of metal and alloys. Yeah, but... brass is like a very specific metal that requires you to like build a whole studio for. I think it would be very unlikely for them to be working with brass. But we're just having fun. I ain't against a little bit of fun. Okay, where is our stripe at? Well, that's bad. Ha. I think we might actually want to scale this guy, and we might want to check this out. We're going to go object set origin to geometry, and we're going to cross our fingers, and it didn't work. So we're going to go to edit mode, grab everything, scooch it down, go back to object mode, scooch it up. There we are. Now the center is in there, so we can do a quadratic sphere. And I can cut you out and pop you in for the quadratic sphere. And say that we want it to be maybe a little bit more polished on the outside. Hello? Why is this sphere not at the center? Oh, it's because it's not on object. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. We've done it. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to be great. We're going to pop this guy up to 0.1. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit long looking so we can really get a good look at this guy. What I want to do is pop up maybe a red and a blue so I can see what the heck I'm doing. So we'll do a red and a blue like that. We'll pop you on over to here, and let's see what we're up to. So I'm going to want Z to be like that. That looks pretty good to me. In fact, I might have not done it well enough. I think we are going to go ahead and set origin to geometry. And now we can get that Z going kind of nutty. So it should come up to a nice point here. Oh man, this song makes me feel a certain kind of way. Not gonna lie. So we're going to say like 0.6 is probably literally perfect. And yeah, that's going to be our roughness for this guy. So now we can go ahead and take away this color. Ooh, she looks good. I want to take you and actually make you a little bit more on the reflective side so it has a nice little trail here. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Let's do negative 0.2, and I'm just going to do 0.2 because the negative doesn't matter. Just so we can get a little bit more on the edge there. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Get it a little bit more prominent looking so you can kind of see that because I want to show my work just a little bit. And the brass might be a little bit more green than I like. So we're going to pop up the saturation. We're going to scroll out just a little bit, and we're going to make sure that we lower that green value. So we're going to say 0.15, and that is a perfect looking brass. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So that's spear number 1. Done. That took what, 24 minutes? 24 minutes ain't that bad. For this, 24 minutes ain't bad at all. I can't be upset about this. Do I want to try and make the hair? Do I want to make the hair? You know what? We're here. Let's make the hair. Let's just do it. Who am I kidding? I should just get it done. Okay, so we want some hair. Let me get into this poll first. We're going to pop up a little guy right here. I'm going to delete this guy later for the sake of polygons, but for the time being, we're going to have that. We're going to weight paint him. Paint him bright red on the end here. There we go. And we're good. I can go ahead and just take this guy and GG him on down a little bit. Go back to weight paint, see if that worked. It did. Perfect. Okay, so we should be able to quit out of here, go onto this, pop ourselves in a little bit of hair. We're going to go to vertexes, go to group, and we're going to make sure that everything looks good. How do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? I think I want to GG that guy back up, like there. Go back to object, and we'll get going. So hair length, 0.1 seems about okay for me. Dare I say that it's a little tall? Because I don't really want it to come out of the metal too much unless you just can't see it, which would be okay with me. Now, instead of this, we're going to go maybe like 100. We're going to go to children. Simple, and children will get to like 20. I don't want the render to have more because that's crazy. I don't even know why I would want to do that. We can up this guy to maybe like 150 and get it really dense looking. That's actually way too much. Is that going to look all right? That looks all right to me. I can live with this. Okay, so let us... Here's what I want to do. I want to comb them down. The fact that you can comb hair in Blender is something that took me way too long to figure out. This is the best thing ever. This makes everything so much better. If anybody didn't know that you could comb hair in Blender, you're welcome. It is amazing. It's such a lifesaver. Let's kink these hairs just a little bit so that they get a little bit weird looking. There we go. And we'll go back to object mode. And we have a few stragglers up top there, so come on down. There we go. Go back to object mode, make sure everything is looking down and good. We have a few guys coming out of the metal, which I don't love. So what that makes me feel like I want to do is grab this guy and pull him down. Like that. And do I care this much? Maybe I don't care this much. Now, the question that I have on this guy is, can I go into weight paint? And can I make it so that the cap of this guy has nothing? Huh. Select. Okay, you get nothing. Oh, well that doesn't work. So now I think the question is I need to come into here and do an inlay. And now we can go back to weight paint, and now we have you, and we can remove just you. So that there's only hair on the outer edge. Which has ruined just a few of these guys for us. So I'm going to go back and comb it. And we're done. I believe. I'm hoping. Here's to hoping that we're done. Sir, please. Please. Go down. Go down. Why won't you go down? What is happening? Please? There we go. What is happening to this hair? Let's get radius up and let's get strength up. You know what? Radius does not need to be up, but this guy does need to be up. This is me every morning when I try to do my hair, honestly. Word for word. Yeah, sounds about right. Every time I do my hair, I show up on stream and I go like this. And I have a like mad scientist spike that comes out of my head here. And I look at myself on my webcam and I go as hard as I can. And then it's gone and you can't see it. So thank God for headphones. If it weren't for headphones, I would look like a maniac every stream. Also, I think I'm done worrying about this. I think I don't care about this anymore. It's a good look. Well, thank you. You know what? That's it. I'm done. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if it looks bad. I'm done worrying about it. It like spiders out. I don't know how to fix it. It's driving me crazy. This is our hair. I'll fix it some other time, I promise. You know what? I do need to fix this part, though. I'm a Cup of Tea has recommended that we all take a nice stretch. So everybody, please, while you're sitting down in your computer chairs or wherever you're sitting, if you're at work, sure, do it at work too. Take a nice little stretch. And try to crack those shoulder blades. Ugh. You hear that crack? There was one. There we go. This is our terrible looking hair. Bold to assume you don't look like a maniac. Oh, it was sarcasm. I am 100% a maniac. Okay, so let's go like this. We're going to just make a brand new material. I'm going to call you... We're going to call you Red Velvet because why not? That's a weird thing to call it, but that's what I'm going to call it. We're going to go back to OG Oak. We're going to grab our hair, which is here. We can't do any edits because we've already done some construction stuff on it, which is good. So we just want to do the render. Render, not render. Textures? Render as path, material OG Oak. There we go. We're going to do a new material. This one will be called Red Velvet. Red Velvet here. And let's do this thing. Little bit of purple always makes red. True red is kind of not very good to look at, so you always want to add a little bit of purple to your reds unless you're exclusively going for that like hard look, which is fine if you are. But normally, if you're just trying to make a red look good and a red doesn't look very good, add a little bit of purple to it. It'll do you wonders. Okay. That's my boy. Why is True Red not good to look at? It just doesn't blend with colors super well. Like, so I'm obsessed with trying to make red and green work together without looking like Christmas. And it's like virtually impossible. But if you add a little bit of purple, red and green can work together. I'm sure there's people who know way more about color that'll tell me that I'm wrong. Please, feel free. You're more than welcome to. But yeah, it just looks better with a little bit of purple. I already know Simo is going to tell me to use the hair BSDF. I'm going to do that in just a second. I think red is good to look at, same as green. Yeah, by itself. But when mixed, it looks a little too primary, in my experience. Okay, let's see. We want the hair shape. Let's do like a 0 on there in diameter and tip. Ju9? How dare you say Ju9? feel like I'm not doing any difference to this thing. Maybe this doesn't render an EV super well. That's okay. We'll take it like this, and I will do the hair BSDF. So let's give ourselves a hair BSDF. And now it's been 10 minutes. I can't believe it's only been 10 minutes. I think I might be time traveling right now. Principled. Where's the hair BSDF? Wait. There's no hair in Eevee. There's no hair in Eevee. What? Am I looking right at it? I don't see it. Okay, cool. So there's no hair. So we're going to fake hair. And I can fake hair pretty well. It's got specular, but the specular is colored correctly. It's got a ton of sheen. Sheen is going to be not tinted as much. Who cares about anti-tropic? And it has a lot of subsurface, but I don't want to do that to my render, so we're not going to do that. Actually, we're in Eevee. Does subsurface do things? Not really. So we're going to keep that down. And that's our hair. Junie, Junine, Junine, Junine. What? Now that we have a little bit of white on this, I actually do want to take it and make it maybe a little bit more on the red side. I'm begging you, please don't take my man, even though you can. What's happening? Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to ignore that. Whatever that was, I'm ignoring it. And we're going to move on to the next one. It's Jolene. I understand. We're going to call this weapons. We're going to put all the weapons in here. This will be partisan head and partisan staff. And you guys go into weapons. Boom. Done. What is this? We've removed it, so it doesn't matter anyway. And now we are into weapons, and we'll come down and make one more. So, we want another spear. For the sake of everybody who was talking earlier, I'm going to make a bad spear. I'm going to make a junk fancy spear. And you can all say that it looks beautiful and that's good for you, and I'll know who the imposters are. Okay, so we got ourselves the beginning of a spear. We're going to do the exact same setup for the first one, but this one is going to be a little bit more specific in its style. We're going to do a 3 subdivision. We'll go ahead and pull this guy down. Grab, not like that. Grab you and do this guy. Pop him up and in. Okay, so a micro spear is going to be just fine for us. In fact, let's do this, and let's do this, and this guy we're going to bring out. Okay, now I'm going to want to pop this guy up. We're going to go turn into a circle. Oh, this is going to be great. This is going to look good. Trust me on this one. This one's going to look real good. We're going to grab all of these guys. I think a lot of people make fantasy weapons and stuff like that as well because it's easier. You're not bound by the restrictions of like references and stuff. And people can kind of get away with doing a little bit more trashy sort of stuff. Which is fair, I guess. It's just annoying to see like people completely ignore logic when designing weapons. It ain't my thing. Okay, so now I want to grab you. Grab you, grab you. Just you. Let's start with just you. We're going to make a circle. Make the circle small enough to fit into here. And now we're going to do the exact same thing to you. Make this guy a circle big enough to fit into there. What? Circle. What? Oh, I didn't grab two of the sides. I understand. Now make it a circle. There we go. Perfect. I get that, but also it's kind of cute when magical anime girls have like a hammer twice the size of them or something like that. Yeah, that's different though, right? A magical anime girl is not the same as like when you're playing World of Warcraft and people are like, the fate of the world rests on me, and they're holding like a big giant sword that has a bunch of serrated edges, and they cleave it, and it goes straight through somebody, and it's like, a weapon with a serrated edge is not going straight through somebody. If you have the strength to put a serrated edge straight through somebody, you might as well just hit them with a big stick. Like, the point of the weapon doesn't matter anymore. Like, just saying that they're really strong or that it's got, like, magical properties, it sucks. It's so annoying to me. I get it, right? I get it because you're selling an idea. It's just boring. It's boring how, like, trivial it's become for everybody. Okay, so this is the beginning of my spear. I'm going to rivet this guy shut in just a little bit. In fact, I am done cooking, okay? You want to share some pics with us? Can we get some cooking pics? Because I think everybody would like to see that. I think everybody liked that. Okay, we got two of these guys. You know what? I'm going to do 3. I'm going to do 3 for a very specific reason. You'll see. Check this out. I'm going to go boom, 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 boom. And we're going to inlay. We're going to inlay a face right here. And then I'm going to grab U3. Oh, I messed up. I messed up. Messed up hard. Boom, 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 boom. Inlay. Inlay. Ixnay. Okay, we've done that. Next up. Okay, I'm going to go check the picture in just a moment. I'm excited. I want to see it. Okay, that is not half bad. So we can just take you. Come back. Grab you. We're going to go loop tools and circle. We'll fix that in a second. I don't know what just happened. Why is it doing that? It's going to do the same thing. Why is it doing that? That's kind of weird. I bet it's got to be applied scale. I bet it's how I've applied the scale on this guy. Okay, so now we can grab U and we can go SY0. Grab U and go SY0. SY0. And a little bit of SY0. Boom. Cool. And now we extrude in and we're done. We got some beautiful little lines here. Look at that. We probably don't want to extrude too deep into this guy. We just want a little divot here. Oh, beautiful. She's beautiful. Okay, let's check out Beryl's food. Yo! This looks good. All right, I want everybody in chat to give some applause for Barrel. Everyone's going to give a nice little applause for Barrel. Hold on, I'm going to start us off. Let's see. Can you not use regular emotes? How do I applaud? I'll give you a heart. You'll get a pansexual pride heart. Because I'm feeling pansexual today. All right, that's perfect. I love that. So I want to see emotes going crazy in chat. There we go. Get those emotes going. All right, so while we're doing this, there we go. The cat blob did not register. Oh, it did register. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get ourselves going on some of these. So I'm going to want myself a UV sphere that has an odd length. Very important that it has an odd length. Because we're going to go really easy on this. I'm going to go super easy on this. Segments, we're going to lower those segments down to 24. Make it nice and easy. Bring this guy to a 90. And here we go. We're going to crush it. We're going to go to edit mode. We're going to shrink you down. There we go, just like that. And we need you to sit at 0. So let's get you at 0 on the X. Everything else is fine. Let's grab ourselves a little see-through on here. Pop that guy on up. And you're going to go all the way through. Grab the whole thing. Make sure that you are sitting right where we want you. Just you. Just you. We're also going to set origin to geometry, and we're going to make you just a little bit bigger. There we go. That's the beginning of a spear. So we pop you down. And now we shrink it. Shrink it like that. Pop it up maybe just a little bit. And we'll get just a little bit bigger and shrink it back this way again. There we go. It's pretty good looking. That is not half bad looking. Color me pretty pleased with this one. So let's make the actual spear part. So we've done enough dilly-dallying. Let's get to it. So we're going to want a spear that goes like this. Get it really hard looking. Remove that. Are you feeling pansexual because you want to lick my cooked pan? Okay, so I have to admit a dark secret to everybody. I have to admit a real dark secret. I know I'm going to lose a lot of you when I say this. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to do this to you all. It has to be said. I have to do it. I hate onions. I really hate onions. They're so gross. They're the worst food on earth. Onions suck. I hate onions so much. I've hated them my whole life. I grew up Southern. I was fed onions all the time. My parents were counting on the day that I was going to like onions, and it never came. I know it's a big letdown. I know we're all ashamed. I'm sorry. There we go. We got ourselves a little bit of cheese. I don't know what the cheese means, but sure, I'll take it. Okay, what I want to do here, I think I want to extrude along normals up. We're going to make ourselves a little point right there. Okay, here we go. I'm with it. I can see it. I can see it clearly in my mind's eye. SX0 right there. And you also get an SX0. We're going to go ahead and pull that guy down. We're going to extrude a little bit. And now we take these guys and we pop them up. We're going to grab these guys and pop them down. Onions are going to cancel you on twitter.com. Boy, I don't even use my Twitter. I hope they do. I'd love to get rid of that thing. Okay, this is going to be a monster of a spear like that. It reminds me a lot of the spear of Longinus, and I don't know how else to say it. It reminds me of the spear from Evangelion. Speaking of which, anybody excited for Evangelion? Do we have any Evangelion fans out there that are stoked for what is about to happen in the world? Because, boy, am I freaking out right now. Anybody who doesn't follow, I guess I can explain. The fourth and final Evangelion movie has finally come out and is about to get its English translation. And holy cow, has it been a hot minute that we've been waiting on this. Okay, so I'm going to grab these two and poke these guys out like that. Is that how I want to do this? I kind of want to put an armature in here, as stupid as that sounds. I'm like, that would make this work so much better for me. Okay, so you are going to get merged at center. And so are you. And then we're going. And I'm like, please, please, please. This has got to work. Please, please, please. This is bound to work. If I take you and I pop out a nice little ridge here, you can just be a nice little ridge for us. Just like that. Maybe that's a good angle. And now I ask myself, do I want to pop on these guys? And what angle are we doing this? Because I kind of think the angle looks like that. Huh. Little confusing to look at, if I'm being perfectly honest. I watched it up until the end of Evangelion movie, which ends with the end of the world. Yeah, so they remade the whole thing as movies now. And the movies, I would argue, are better. I know that's like sacrilegious to say because I grew up with the original series, but it's just more concise. You just get exactly what you want, like, instantly. We're going to say 45 on that guy, and we're going to say negative 45 on this guy. Now we can take them and fold them down and get that really nice looking angle here. And we can pop these guys up. Just like this. Get these guys looking nice and tight into here. And we're looking good. We're looking solid. If I put a ridge onto here like that, grab a full nice ridge here. That is a monster. You do not want to get speared with this bad boy. Again, it's not good because it would break. This is not a good spear. But as maybe like a magical weapon, we're here. We got it. You do not want to be hit by this thing. Holy cow, this would hurt. This is like when you're a kid and you're on the playground and you're just imagining like the worst things. This is one of the worst things. This is the evil spear right here. Do like that. What I do want to do is probably take this and scooch it on out just a little bit. Okay, and last but not least, I want to take this angle and get it looking kind of like a blade. If we could make this a little bit more of a halberd, it would have a lot more reason to exist, I will say. Like that. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to make a halberd. I'm going to start by making a copy of this, because I might ruin it. What should we call this? Also, what do you guys want to name this? Right now, the only name that I'm thinking I'm going to call this thing is a bident, because it is technically a bident, but might not be the coolest name in the world. So if anybody has a name, let's hear a name for this thing. Okay, so that's how we're going to want to do this. We're folding into just a blade, right? Yes. Nope, that one doesn't matter. Okay, we got all of this. Merge into center. Bring it up. Say, does that look good up here? There we go. Okay, we got ourselves a little bit of a halberd. It has a sharpening edge on it, which doesn't look good for some reason. Why doesn't it look good? What happened? I merged probably the wrong one here. What? Why is it like a duck's bill? Okay, so that one and this one. Actually, let's do the whole thing like this. And see how this looks for us. If all of that is creased... If all of this is creased, what is this going to do for us? What are we doing? What are we even doing right now? What are we even doing right now, huh? What are we thinking about? Because I'm thinking this will work. I'm thinking this is the energy that we want. I might even pull that guy in, which I don't see any reason not to now that I'm looking at it. So we're going to grab you and pull you in because you're just extra distance for no reason. And now we're going to say, how does that look? Oh, it's got a blade. Okay, so it can fight. She can fight. She can fight for sure. So now the question is, do we just want to merge these guys? Because I think the answer is obviously yes. Gonna eat so much salad with that thing, honestly. Oh, we could call it a fork. This is definitely a fork. Put on some auto normals. This thing is scary. I'm kind of scared of this thing. I like it. I like this guy a lot. I'm pretty proud of this. I'll put this up on a website somewhere. Maybe I'll give this for like $5 somewhere. They're cool. They look like they absolutely kill. if we merged these two as well, which now I'm like really getting to the point where I'm like, what am I doing? Am I just rethinking my whole topology here live? Because I think that's what we're doing. Ha. I mean, if I just remove this... Okay, hold on. Let's say we remove this. Okay, what happens? It just looks better. If we remove this, it just looks better. That's a twerk, not a fork. Are we really going to call this thing a twerk? Are we really trying to call this thing a twerk? I know how chat works, and everybody's going to say yes. You're all going to say yes. I already know you're going to say yes. It's already over. Yep, there it is. There's the reinforcement. Okay. We have a twerk. This is going to be the world's deadliest twerk. Now, we need to fix that right there, but otherwise, this is literally perfect looking. This is actually perfect looking. It actually looks so good. Oh my gosh, it looks like mermen would use it. This is a merfolk weapon right here. Which would be good for catching fish. Let's be fair. Weapons like this are designed for catching fish. Also looks like a tuning fork. I don't love that you said that. You are right though. What's our subdivision set to? 3. Sound damage? Don't. You all are out of control. Everybody in the world, everybody is, no. The whole Pokemon community, there's a whole bunch of people who make fake Pokemon. And they're like, oh boy, like we want a sound type. Like Pokemon should have a sound type. And knowing like Game Freak, they're gonna do it. And it's such a bad idea. So I just have a little bit of a spot in my soul where I'm like, please, no sound types. Also, I'm looking at this, and we don't have a reason for this anymore. We have a reason for these guys. Goodbye. Screaming at people to kill them? No. It opens up for the Pokemon musical. Honestly, we've lost all rhyme or reason in this chat today. Okay, let's go orthographic. We're going to go GG. We're going to pop this guy up. Make sure that we get a nice little spike going here. Then it means one of my favorite Pokemon wouldn't be Water Fairy anymore. Which Pokemon is that? Who we talking about? Who's a Water Fairy? Oh, Primera. Yeah. Primarina. You like Primarina? That makes sense for you. You seem like a Primarina fan. You're one of the only people in the world who likes Primarina. We're missing one little edge here, and then we're good. Why does it look like that? Oh. What? What just happened? Hold on. Back. Go all the way back. Why did this not take? Dissolve edges. That was weird. There we go. Now we can GG slide that guy up again. And now we can do this one more time, and then we're done. She is great. Okay. Okay, 1 to 10. How much do we like or hate this guy? 1 to 10. Let's hear it. I'm not sensitive. I can handle the input. How are we feeling about this bad boy? Because I feel pretty strong about this. This looks good. I don't know if I love the rivets now that I'm looking at them. But otherwise, I feel pretty confident that this thing is great. I might go ahead and do a little bit of this. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves just a little bit of these guys. And we want to make sure that we don't... Hello? Make sure we don't get that. Boom. Boom, boom. Make sure none of these guys get popped into here. And make sure that none of these guys get popped into here. But everybody else is in. 8.7, it's super cool. Okay, I'll take an 8.7. 8.7 is not bad by my standards. Okay, that's that. And now we can grab you. And please work. Please clap. There we go. Okay. We are in on this. Just like that. And we're going to go back to this view. Why is it still got that one? What? Oh, because I didn't do... I understand. I understand. I didn't think. I didn't use my brain. What else is new, right? Just like that. And now those guys are completely removed and we're looking good. Okay, perfect. Back to this. Back to this. That looks a lot better. That has a cool little bit of energy to it. We got to lower this guy down just a little bit. And then we're done. And then I make the staff. Okay, so if this is underwater, I guess I have to make the staff out of like coral or something, right? So we're going to make like a coral staff. Yeah, that should be a good amount of time for us to finish up too. So I'm going to make a nice coral staff for this guy. And then I see somebody suggested a sword. So we'll put the sword on the speed sketch, since I did promise a sword. Okay, so let's start by setting cursor to world origin. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a cylinder of 24. Why did it reset? Shouldn't have reset. The staff could have the point thing, like a sharp fish jaw. Could have the point looking. What do you mean? What does that mean? I'm deciphering. I don't understand what that means. I don't think that's a language that I speak. There we go. Bad at describing, please disregard. Okay. Well, if you think of a way to explain it, I am interested. If this is underwater, reach is the only thing that matters. So we want this guy nice and long, because the weight is not going to matter nearly as much underwater. There we go. Really long looking staff. That might actually be a little too long. It's a little unreasonable. There we go. There is a cannon for spears, and I could use a cannon, but I don't have a human model ready to go, so we're not going to do that. That's a decently sized looking spear right there. Okay, so let's apply scale. Come down to here. Do the exact same thing. We're going to knot the end of this guy. We're going to go B like that. We're going to come out to here. Just like that. And check this out. We'll go like that. Like that. Actually, what am I doing? I just want to go like 1, 2, 3. And then 3 comes out from there. So it's 2. So it has to always be even. So we're going to say 12. Right? That works. Boom, 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 boom. Please do it the correct amount of times. It did not work. We want 11. I counted wrong. We want 11. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. And now we can take it and we can bring it in. And we can go ahead and grab you all the way across, just like this. Put on a little bit of a bevel. We have clamp on the overlap. We're going to go down to 3 so the geometry is just a little bit better for us. I'm going to grab this whole thing, not just you. Grab the whole thing. We're going to merge by distance. And then I'm going to go ahead and just do myself one quick little favor. And the favor is freaking out about my hair because my hair got stuck in my headphones. We're going to do this. Huh. This is going to get weird, isn't it? What if we go like this? Is that too weird? It feels like it's just too short like this. You liked it? Oh, well, I've ruined it. I can't go back. Here's a thought. Here's a new thought for you. What about this? Let me go way back. Check this out. What if I go here? And we're going to go... This is going to have a stupid amount of geometry. This is going to be such a bad amount of geometry. This is not a good idea, but I'm just having fun. I don't know if I'm going to use this for any projects or anything. Okay, so now we have that. And of these guys, I'm going to hit select, and we're going to do checkered deselect. Oh, gosh. Select loops. Oh, no. I'm going to have to do it by hand. I have to do it by hand. Oh, gosh. All right. Here we go. I'm going to do this 100 times. How much time do we have? We have 15 minutes. That's about enough time. We should be okay. Sorry I'm making you watch this. I am inept and I don't know how to do this faster. I'm sure there is a way. I'm sure some people are screaming at their computer screens right now. And you know what? You would be the correct one, but please stop screaming at your computer, okay? That doesn't help us. That doesn't do anything for us. It definitely doesn't make this any less grueling of a process. Realistically, I have to do this exactly 59 times. So if we're keeping count, I don't know how many times I've done it yet, but I want to say I'm around 30. I'm getting fast, though. It's all about that proper navigation, using the correct hotkeys. And I'm hoping I didn't skip one, because if I skipped one, I am going to lose my mind. I will actually freak out. I can see the top. Oh, I can see the top. Oh, we've done it. You know what? I'm just going to call it right there. If there's more up there, we're done. We're done. Looks good to me. Would you have to be stronger to use this spear underwater instead of on land because the water would drag it? Do it 10 more times, honestly. Would you have to be strong to use this? I'm going to say probably not. You'd have to be strong to thrust it really fast. But I think if you are a humanoid figure living in the water, you're probably already pretty good. Dare I say I'm actually pretty cool with this. I'm kind of lulling myself into like a trance right now. I could do this forever. If this went on forever, this could be like my SCP. I could be the SCP who clicks loop vertices forever. That'd be a nice little purgatory for me, I think. Get a lot of thinking done. How long of this exact process would it take to drive you crazy? Because the only correct answer is that we've already passed the point. And it just goes forever. It just goes down forever. Like, there is no bottom of the z-axis. This is the hell I've created today. Welcome to my hell. Okay. That's a long spear. And we just go for it. Right? We grab the whole thing and we merge by distance. And we say, take a look at it. It looks good. Oh, that's great. That's a firm grip. You are not losing track of this guy. Now I know that there is a thing that you could say about it, and I'm sure somebody's thinking it. I don't care. I don't care. I made something good. Okay, let's go ahead and model this guy up. We have 13 minutes to do this. So 13 minutes to make a couple of models, that's nothing. We're going to do brass. We're going to do brass. We're going to make sure we hit apply on the scale, apply on the scale. Now, this guy. What are we doing with this guy? I'm kind of thinking like an obsidian sort of thing, because obsidian was a really common primitive way to make knives. And like obsidian would look really good. Like a really dark like obsidian. We're going to add transmission to this guy. Ooh. Ooh. Look at that with a little bit of glow on there. Ooh, baby. Oh, babe, that looks great. Ooh. We're cooking today. We are cooking today. Mama's in the kitchen making hot chicken. And honestly, I'm happy about it. Okay, let's go for a little bit of a vector bump. Put that guy in there. And then now we're going to throw a Vernoi on here. And then I'm going to pop it out and do one of these. We don't want that kind of Vernoi. We want the really nutty looking Vernoi. How do I get it not so grainy looking? Oh, oh, it looks so good. Okay, so we want like color to be here. We probably want it to be like 4D. That's kind of crazy looking. That is kind of nuts looking. Very pretty. Thank you. Do I want to switch this up for something else? Manhattan is not what I'm going for. I think it has to be Euclidean. And I want probably a little bit of stretching on this guy. So let's go like that, and we're going to stretch the Z out a little bit. I was kind of hoping the faces would look like really prominent, but it's all right. I think that might be not the fault of the normal map and might instead be the fault of Eevee. Yeah, we'll put the distance at 10. Oh, I put it at normal. No wonder. It's my fault. It was me. It was my fault. It was me all along, Austin. It was me all along, Austin. There he is. That's exactly what we're going for. Perfect. So now we need to take it and put a color ramp on here to get rid of those swells because we want them to be flat edges. So we're going to go ahead and grab you. Pop you up to 0.4. Pop you up to 0.6. This would be the point in which we would grab a Manhattan. And we cross our fingers and hope that this works. Oh, it looks bad. Distance goes straight in. Why are you not working? Yeah, it's more along the lines of what we want. We can go back to this being 1. And now I'm like, what the heck are we doing? Oh, there it is. There she is. There she is. Oh, man, that looks good. Oh, that's it. We're here. We've done it. Folks, we've done it. We've made a very scary looking man. You do not want to get hit by this guy. We're going to make these maybe like bright red. Let's make these new. These are going to be obsidian holders. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to make them obsidian. We're just going to make them gold. Gold, I think, is going to work for this. Where's our gold? There's our gold. Now, we have to make the actual staff part. Part of me wants to just do gold, because gold and merfolk go together really well. And I imagine like fishing would be like a ceremonial sort of thing in this world. Oh gosh, there's part of me that wants to like make this thing crazy. Yeah, this is a Naga weapon. How do we feel? Are we done? Yeah, oh my gosh, it looks crazy. Yo, that looks crazy. That looks so crazy. That looks so insane. That might look a little bit better for us, and I think I will drop the scale down just a little bit. That is nuts looking. Huh. I think I might be done. I am going to push it a little bit because I don't know when to give up. But we're going to go ahead and throw on a layer weight with some facing on the emission strength. And we're going to pop the emission up to like a greenish blue sort of color. Now we're going to up the blend on this guy, 0.75. Or no, lower the blend, 0.25. And give it that nice little feeling. I think he's done. I think we're done. No, actually, I know exactly what I want to do. I take it back. I take it back. We're going to call this Naga Gold. This is Naga Gold. And we're going to do this. We're going to keep it real cool. Because gold, most gold is not the color that we think of as gold. So I'm going to grab the true gold right here. We're going to grab true gold again. We're going to drop the saturation down a lot. We're going to make it more red. And we're going to make it a little bit lighter. And also drop the saturation maybe a little bit more. That's too red. 0.04. 0.05? Why is it so red? I want it like pink. Like almost pink in color. That ain't working. That is not working. .9. There we go. That's the color I'm looking for. Perfect. So we're going to put that into there. We're going to get it looking maybe a little bit more. Oh, it looks so good. That looks so good. And now we can go ahead and add ourselves a wave texture. Pop that guy on up. Make sure I'm recording because I just had the existential dread that I wasn't recording for YouTube. But we are. So we're going to do a little bit of Z. We're going to put on a 15. We'll keep these guys maybe a little closer together so that we have a little bit less of a... Actually, I like the way that looks. I like the way that looks a lot. I like the way that looks a lot. There we go. That's my Naga Gold. Done. Okay, we'll just go ahead and make this some Naga Gold. And we'll make you some Naga Gold. And I believe we are done. How are we feeling about this guy? That's a pretty good looking boy. If I do say so myself, that is a pretty good looking boy. I'm pretty pleased with this. I'm pleased as punch. So I am done with the first part. It is now a 9.8. That is very sweet. Thank you. Ugh, okay. Well, I've cracked my neck and I'm feeling a lot better. So let's go ahead and say save. And I got my stream sneeze coming. I'm dying. Okay. A cup of tea is recommended that everybody take a drink of water. I'm going to have to go refill my cup, but that will do just fine. We got one more drink. Kind of a big drink. Almost drowned myself. But that's going to be it for the first part. So I'm going to take a real quick break to go grab water and look at the speed sketch suggestions. We're going to figure out what we're doing, and then we're going to get into it. So later, YouTube. This is the part where Mr. Six would say later, but Mr. Six is busy today. So, ciao.